The most intimidating set of trousers are trousers that have a front zipper fly and a belt loop. Most fashion designers avoid this trouser because they think it is too hard. But in this video, I have broken it down into very simple steps that makes it impossible to mess it up. This video focuses on how you can achieve that professional zipper fly that is giving a crisp high-end look, neatly finished and made very easy to understand. For my formula in cutting out this trouser, I already explained that in our cutting tutorial and I linked that in the comment section. First, we are going to be sewing the pockets. I'll place my pocket cut out on the right side and place my trouser right side facing right side like this, and I'll sew on it. After sewing on it, you go ahead to trim out the excess like this. Open it up, this is the pocket and this is the trouser. Lay flat the seam allowance on the pocket and top stitch it. The stitch line will be on the pocket. Lay the pocket on the trouser like this and you fold in your pocket allowance into two. Then you go ahead to stitch the sides together. After that, you flip this to the front part and you are going to just pin the top part. Do not top stitch it yet. Next, you are going to arrange it very well, or you can give it a good press as ironing will make it easier to know just how well the pocket should sit. Then you sew the sides to hold the pocket and the trouser together. Cut out any excess there is. On the crotch part, I'm going to be going in by 4 inches. You can go in further if you want your pleats to be closer to the pocket. I'll go ahead to notch it at this point. From the notched point, I'll measure and mark out 1.5 inch. I'll take my notch point, place on fold to meet that 1.5 inch mark, and this will give us the pleat. Next, I will just pin this up, arrange it to align with the pocket, and I'm going to sew it straight up. I've gone ahead to cut out my zipper flap and it is 7 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. I'll take the front part of the trouser, place my zipper flap on the crotch part and I'll sew it down. After sewing it down, I'll go ahead to iron it down to keep it flat. I've done this for the other side as well. Next, I'll place the both sides together and I'll sew it down with half of an inch. Now you are going to sew this to go up into your flap by half of an inch and you have to sew as close as possible. This is what it should look like. Now flipping it to the right side, this is what it looks like unironed. Now you are going to determine if you want your zipper fly to face left or to face right. So you arrange it to be in the direction you want your zipper fly to be. Then you go ahead to iron it down. So this is what it looks like after ironing. You can see that it overlaps perfectly and it is very easy. So now I'm going to take my zip and I'm going to put it in between like this. The first question is which of them should I sew on first? Now, there is a flap that is open and there's a flap that you folded inward. After placing your zip like this, you are going to be sewing your zip first on the flap that is open. You flip your zip like this and you are going to sew it as close as possible to the joint between the trouser and the flap. Next, you are going to top stitch it to keep it down. You push your zipper flap backwards like this and you pin it down at the up and at the down so that you will not mistakenly stitch on it when you are sewing the other flap side. Next, you place the other flap on it. It should not overlap, it should just meet the other line exactly like this, not overlapping but just meeting each other. Next, you are going to draw your flap curve. It is supposed to be 1.25 inches wide at most, then 1 inches wide at least. It is very important to mark it out because if you don't mark it out, your curve might not go correctly and it might just frustrate you. If you know marking it out will stain your clothes because you have to do it over and over again, you can just be trying on paper and when you are done, you place it on that area and you mark it out. Now we go to the sewing part. This is the final part and I believe it will be very easy after you have marked it out. All you have to do is to carefully follow the line that you have marked for your flap curve. You can even reduce the speed of your machine, do it, because if you make a mistake at this point, you will just abandon the trouser because it will just discourage you. So sew it carefully and follow your curve. So congratulations, I believe you just made your own perfect zipper fly. Even if my zip is not the same color, you can see how perfect it is, that is not even obvious. I could not get the exact color. So I went ahead to cut out my zip excess. You place the two ends of the flap together and you just sew it separately, not on the trouser. Now to avoid my zipper head flying off, I'll just go ahead to pin one side on fold and zip it up. Next, after you have confirmed your measurements, add your sewing allowance of ½ inch. Go ahead to cut out any excess you have left. Remember, we used the front to cut out the back, and the front had sewing allowance for the pleat. You can use that excess to add that to the back, or you can use it to add a bit of gathers to the back, but I prefer to just take it out by the side like this. And if you do that, make sure you blend it very well, that you do not have any bulging at the hip. Next, I'll place the back and the front together, and I'm going to shape it out using ½ inch. I'll also join the center together like this. Here I am done with joining this. I'll go ahead to open up my zip and I'll go ahead to measure the round waist. We need this to cut out the waistband. And you're going to measure it and get into this flap part like this. First, I'll go ahead to draw a startup line. There's no constant for this. This is just me making a straight line to be a guide for my measurements. From that line, I'll come down by 6 inches at the start and at the end of the paper. And I'm going to connect it with a straight line. Next, I'll mark out my waist measurement that I just measured, divided by 2. Mark it also at the top so I can get a straight line. So I'll go ahead to connect it together like this. Indicate one part as the front and the other part as the back. Next, you are going to get the center of this line. You mark it out and you also mark it at the top. Connect it with a straight line. Next, I'll be marking the width of the waistband, of which I am using 2 inches wide. Mark it at the front and the back, and I'm going to connect it with the straight ruler. Here comes the most important part to avoid gaping of your waist. On the center part, you are going to take out 0.25 inch on both sides of the center line and you connect it with a V like this. The back part, you are going to take out 0.25 inch as well in a slanted way like this. This will avoid any gaping at the back. Next, I'll go ahead to indicate the up part. I'll just cut this roughly so that I can close the dart at this part. Go ahead to pin it up. Use my chalk to blend it at the up and at the down. Then I'll go ahead to cut this out. I went ahead to cut this on my fabric, ½ inch allowance on the top and 0.75 inch allowance at the down. The back center is closed and I have 2 of these. Next, I'll go ahead to unpin this and kindly note that I added my stay before cutting it out. Next, I'll open it up. As you can see, I have notched the center. I'll place it together, right side facing right side, and I will sew it together. So after sewing this up, I went ahead to turn it, and on the part that is supposed to be the front part, I took out 0.3 inches, making the front part shorter than the back part. Next, you are going to place the center on the back center, right side facing right side, pin it up and you sew it all around. I added extra to this while I was cutting it out to avoid any shortages. It is better you have excess than to have a shortage for your waistband. Now, as you can see, we sew on the front part first, or the right side. You are going to close your zip and you are going to confirm if this plate aligns. If it doesn't align, you can easily lose it and adjust it now before going further. Next, you are going to work on the back part. For the back part, you are going to fold it in. You fold it in a way that it exceeds this joining line by at least 0.25 inch. So you fold it like this and iron it all around. You can also use hemming gum to make it easy to keep the fold in place. Now you cut out the excess on the waist part, flip it like this, right side facing right side, and go ahead to sew it down. Do the same thing for the other side of the flap. Make sure you are cutting like half inches away from the flap. After sewing it, you cut out any excess, then you flip it to the right side like this. This is what it looks like. I'll go ahead to close it up so that you see what it looks like. You can see that it is aligning. Make sure you always confirm this because it is easy to correct any mistake here than to correct it when you are done. So next, this is our waistband, the back part. I have ironed it down. Please, to make it easy for you, pin it down. You might be all done and you discover that you did not stitch some plates because it's shifted. So after ironing it and placing it on fold like this, we are going to go to the sewing machine and we are going to be sewing a pattern or a method called the sew in the ditch. We are sewing in between the join of the trouser and the waistband. You can see how very slow my machine is. It is at the slowest, you are going to do this all around your waistband. I recommend you sew from one side to the center and from the other side to the center. Now this is what it looks like. You can see my stitch at the back, but you cannot see my stitch at the front. Now for the belt holders, I am using this. It is 1.5 inches wide and you're going to fold it as shown. You fold the first, fold the second side, place the both folds together, and you are expected to be stitching at the tip of the fold. The length for each belt holder is 3 inches long. I'll go ahead to cut as many as I want. Mark out your belt holder and you top stitch it on the band.